Dr. Karan Gupta. Can we have a huge round of applause? Dr. Karan Gupta, an educationist, activist, columnist, and TEDx speaker. He is an alumnus of IE University and Harvard Business School with degrees in psychology, business, and law. Dr. Gupta has received the National Education Award, Times Power Men, and Wharton Business School Education Leadership Award for his contribution to higher education. He was featured as the rising star on Bloomberg TV. He has been awarded by the House of Lords in London for his outstanding contribution to education. As a social activist, he works with the underprivileged and focuses on children and women's empowerment. He champions the cause of skill development programs for physically and mentally challenged people by helping them gain employment. Dr. Karan Gupta, please join us on stage. I want a thunder applause. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
First, a very, very warm welcome and thank you to each one of you for being here today. This is the 5th edition of I Am Woman, an evening dedicated to celebrate the inspiration of women. My name is Karan Gupta. I am the founder of the Karan Gupta Education Foundation and the managing director of IE University in India. Both these organizations work towards the welfare of women. Both of them have a single-minded focus: let's help women advance. At IE University, we have scholarship programs which we give 100% tuition fee waivers to women candidates. We are one of the few universities in the world where you're going to find more women in classroom than men, and that's a big achievement when it comes to higher education. At the Karan Gupta Education Foundation, we are moving beyond just education. We are now working with young girls in slums from underprivileged backgrounds and connecting them with mentors through our Empower program. We want these girls to work with their mentors and solve real-world challenges, social challenges, and that's been working very well for the Karan Gupta Education Foundation. Now, I ask myself a question as I stand before you tonight. Why are we here? Why, after so many years of talking about women empowerment, talking about women's safety, women's health, why are we still here? So there are a couple of things which I want to speak about. I believe that our journey, which is empowerment, is far from over. So we will celebrate the progress that we're making, but in every corner of the world, women are still fighting their battles. Whether it's visible, hidden behind closed doors, whether it's the boardrooms, whether it's grassroots, the struggle for equality, respect, and safety still continues. So we are going to acknowledge these challenges, but we're also going to celebrate the victories, because these victories, the breakthroughs, the quiet revolutions that are taking place at a pace we can't even imagine right now. And I really want to shift the focus of empowerment as a goal to empowerment as a journey. Because, once again, the women who we are honoring today, they are not just empowered, they are empowerers. And they are catalysts for change, not just for themselves, but for so many of us. Empowerment is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. It's not given. It's taken, it's nurtured, and it's shared. Tonight we heard from women who are changing the way businesses are led, who are creating these ripples of change. You heard from a woman who was raised in the slum, but now changing the lives of other slum children. You will hear from crusaders of justice and crusaders of health. You will hear from a woman who has multiple sclerosis, is on a wheelchair, but is still fighting for disability rights. These are the kind of women we are still going to hear from. And as I look around this room, I'm filled with hope. Hope not just because of these remarkable achievements. Hope because of the spirit of collaboration and community that events like I Am Woman foster. So we're not here to just applaud. We're here to connect, to inspire, to find ways to support each other in this incredible journey. So I leave you with the call of action. How would you contribute to this ripple change waves that we want to make? Each of us holds the power to create change, whether through mentorship, advocacy, or simply by being unafraid to take up challenges. Empowerment is not just about lifting you, it's about lifting the people with you. And once again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. It means the world to me. So thank you all for coming. I now would like to welcome on stage our guest of honor, Ms. Richa Chadha, an actor and activist, and someone who lends her voice to as many social causes as possible. And that's something I truly believe in, helping people who are less unfortunate than you are. Could we please have Richa Devi?
Let's shine the spotlight on an extraordinary actress and creative powerhouse, Richa Chadha. From the moment Richa Chadha graced the screen, with her acting debut in the comedy film Oye Lucky Lucky Oye, she captivated audiences and critics with her unparalleled skill and authenticity. She truly showed her acting mettle in the crime drama Gangs of Wasepur, a role that earned her the Filmfare Critics Award for Best Actress. Over the past decade, she has carved a unique path to success on her own terms in films like Fukre, Masan, Inside Edge, Love Sonia, Section 375, Panga, and her recent stunning performance as Lajjo in the highly acclaimed Hiramandi. Richa's talent has been widely recognized with a host of accolades, including the Best Actress Award at the Screen Awards and Zee Cine Awards. Beyond acting, Richa has made her mark as a director and writer with the impactful documentary film Rooted in Hope. Her involvement also extends to a striking PETA campaign to raise awareness about animal rights. Richa stood bravely with the students of JNU who were targeted in a violent attack. She joined a united front of actors to denounce the violence and advocate for students' rights as her commitment to social justice. Richa, along with her husband Ali Fazal, has launched a production house, Pushing Buttons Studio. Their debut project, Girls Will Be Girls, premiered at Sundance, winning 2 major awards and garnering acclaim at international film festivals. Join us in celebrating Richa Chadha, an actress, activist, and visionary whose work continues to inspire and make waves across the globe.
Richa, you can get on stage, please. Please have a seat. So, first, many congratulations, Arunauta. Some of us know that Richa has a 40-day baby girl. 40 days. This is the first time she had a baby. Right? So that's the first. The second is the roaring success of your very powerful and very significant role in Hiramandi. We remember her as Lajjo. And the third is the Iron Woman Award. So Richa, many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank you for having me.
thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You've always had a very strong opinion about how women are represented in cinema. And you've been vocal about it. So one of the things what we want to know on this platform from you is, what and how do you think the Indian cinema industry has evolved when it comes to the portrayal of women characters? And what would you like to see change?
Well, to be honest, we've come a long way. We've always had cinema which, on the one hand shows empowerment, but on the other hand, very often we've had cinema back in the day where women were supposed to accept, anything that kind of goes, and they were kind of celebrated for their ability to withstand pain. In fact, in the 1950s, if there was a film like Bandhani, there was also a film in the subsequent decades called Main Chup Rahungi. So these are all things that make you wonder I think it's pretty much the same today, where on the one hand we're in 2024 and there's several roles where powerful role models are shown to be women. Women are lawyers, astronauts, teachers, bankers, and on the other hand, there is still cinema that sort of doesn't give the woman the opportunity to shine in her true glory. So I think both things coexist. Even today, we have come a long way. But like you said, we have to celebrate progress and look at the important milestones, but there's still a long way to go.
Very inspiring. The film industry is of course very glamorous, but there's also a side which is not so glamorous, right? What I think when we polled a lot of the people before you came here asking what type of questions, what would they really like you to talk about? And one of the answers that we got back was, what are some of the personal challenges you faced while being an actor or reaching where you are as an actor?
I think this job is challenging and it's like it'll never allow you to feel settled. You can't really, it's not a 9 to 5 office job. In fact, today before coming here, I was feeling so much anxiety that I'll be out in public for the first time. You know, when you have a baby, it's like a little bubble. You're feeding every 2 hours, the sleep cycle is gone. So I was quite anxious about even making a public appearance. But then this idea that it's going to be a room full of women really put me at ease, because I think women understand that kind of pain and that kind of sort of juggling both aspects of like instantly putting on makeup and getting out of the house to you know, having oil in my hair for 3 days back to back because I didn't have time to take a hair wash. So I would say that I would say that women understand actually the hurdles that one has to overcome in any profession. Someone rightly said that you have to try harder. If you're a woman, you have to prove it again and again and again. And unfortunately, the kind of world we exist in, you know, my friend always says, if women are from Venus, men are from women. So, this is a society that we can really work towards changing one day at a time. And the hurdles pretty much stay the same, in which, you know, society puts pressure on you to have your baby fast and your biological clock is ticking at the same time. You're always wondering if you're missing out on the work front, or if your boss is simply overlooking you because they're imagining that now you're married and you're going to have a baby at some point and then you'll have to drop out of the workforce. The question we must all ask ourselves is, what can we do to make working conditions better, not just for us, but for everyone around, because women's rights are human rights. So specifically speaking to me, speaking about my challenges within the industry, I think it was just survival. Initially I came like, you know, when you saw me in Hoi Lucky, I just finished my college. I was surviving in Bombay by doing few ads and plays, repeatedly going for auditions. उसमें भी मेरे को बहुत वो था कि नहीं मैं fairness product नहीं करूँगी, इंडिया में बहुत discrimination होता है fairness को लेके and things like that. So wasn't an easy ride, but I don't want to keep crying about this कि वो इतना बुरा हुआ मेरे साथ. I'm sitting here, I'm very grateful in a room full of such accomplished women. So I want to celebrate that.
That's fantastic. I don't know why I really thought we'd start this answer with the 99 retakes you took for Sanjana Darsali. I read that last night. She did 99 retakes for a song and then got it right. Sorry, you got it right on the 99th time. You skipped the, you missed the
No,
section.
I think on the 100th take, he just set back up and it was done. But the funny thing is that shot was never used.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh God.
So ऐसा भी होता है.
So, and I said this earlier, I was saying this outside to you as well. You speak your mind. You're one of the few people who, at least I've seen, who's been in the public eye. You speak your mind. You don't care what someone's going to say. दूसरा ने ये बोल दिया, वो बोल दिया, ये problem हो गई. आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि you don't लोग क्या कहेंगे. So मेरा इधर एक क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, प्रशंसा तो हो ही रही है, क्वेश्चन भी आ रहा है. आप फेमिनिज्म के बारे में बात करते हो, टॉक अबाउट body shaming, you talk about the Me Too movement, you talk about so many different social causes, you've been part of PETA, you've done so much. So one is, what's the motivation to really lend your support to these causes? And two, and very importantly, how do you handle the criticism that comes when you stand up for a cause?
See, you must understand, we live in a country where विराट कोहली की बैटिंग पे भी लोगों को क्रिटिसिज्म होता है कि नहीं ऐसे खेलना चाहिए. So this is armchair criticism. Only when you get down and dirty, when suppose Chandni who was speaking before me, आप उनसे पूछेंगे कि स्लम में जाके एक्चुअली काम करने में कितने कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस करने पड़ते हैं, कई बार अथॉरिटीज से कैसे डील करना है, जो बच्चे आपके पास पढ़ने आते हैं उनके माँ बाप से किस तरह से बात करनी है, खासकर लड़कियों के माँ बाप से उनको क्या बताना है कि वो रिपीटेडली उनको भेजें. तो only when you start doing something you realize the challenges that are, that come with the territory. Like, till such time you don't know. So I feel like it doesn't matter what people who don't understand the scenario entirely what they are saying, because at least you're making an effort. And every day if you shift the needle a little bit, every day if you start saying this much progress, like there's a Japanese concept called Kaizen, which is a little progress every day. You won't get to 0 to 100, but you have to go 0 to 10, and then 20, and then 55, and then maybe you come back to 45%, and then you go all the way. So I think that we have to keep making progress despite the criticism. I think women have been held back too long because of this criticism from society. Actually, even men have, men also. बेचारे because उनको बचपन से बताया जाता है अरे तुम्हें नौकरी करनी है तभी तुम्हें दुल्हन मिलेगी, तुम्हें पैसा कमाना है. उन पे भी थोड़ा तरस खा लो बेचारे. वो मतलब they have nowhere to, they can't cry openly, they have so much pressure. So I feel like together we can make a change, but we must be kind to each other, both men and women.
Yeah. Kindness is highly underrated. So Richa, another question for you is, what's next for you?
I'll go home and feed and then go to bed, I guess. For the next 2 months, that's what it is, because you don't realize till you give birth that A, you don't realize how strong you actually are, and B, you don't realize that आप किसी का टिफिन बॉक्स बन जाते हो. You think, oh, she's smiling at me, but she's like, oh, when मेरे को दूध कब मिलेगा? So like it's very confusing time. But I think that's what's next for me. Next few months, I'm going to be taking it easy. As far as working is concerned, I have gotten back to our production, which is called Girls Will Be Girls. Hey, what a surprise! And the film should release in India in the next 2 months. And as far as getting back on set is concerned, I think that should be towards the middle of November, after Diwali.
So this is the production house that you started with your husband. So, I mean, and you know what, we can cut this out from the media if you don't want to answer this, but I did have a question from somebody in the audience who is in an intercaste marriage. And the polarizing society we live in, this has become something that has creeped into our conversations as well. And you've had an intercaste marriage as well. Did you ever feel that people looked at you differently because of that, or you were treated better or worse because of that?
Honestly, I feel like it's a gift to have love in your life, to really have a beautiful relationship where the man helps you grow and not just loves you and pampers you, but actually is interested in your growth. Is Richa a better actor? Is she a better person? Is she a better producer or writer? After being with me, the goal is to, have some kind of evolution together. So I feel like that itself is such a gift that when I went out there looking for love, I keep saying, मेरी search में कोई filters नहीं थे कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. And this is a country of Sunil Dutt and Nargis. So I never have that in my mind. And if somebody has that in their mind, then honestly, I hope you're lucky enough to find true love, where you can look past the differences and celebrate what's good between the both of you. And I just, hatred helps nobody, ever. It's like there's a war going on between Israel and Palestine. Does anyone go there for a vacation right now? No. Why is that? Because you need peace for progress. You need peace for prosperity. And this is what I firmly believe in, and I live my life by this principle.
So, last question, Richa. What advice would you like to give young women today, and in today's times, and the kind of place we live in? What advice, just from any perspective, you'd like to talk about?
What vague? I can give vague advice like believe in yourself and all, but I would say just actually, if you want like practical advice, I would say read a lot, newspaper, kitabe, jo marzi. Be healthy. So you don't have to be size 0 or size 10. Just walk every day, take some time for yourself. Invest. FD में मत करो, SIP में कर लो. I honestly we had to get married very quickly when lockdown and all ended, and suddenly there was a function. And the thing about getting married in your 30s is you have to pay for everything. So then it was so useful to me. I got married in 2022, and in 2017 I started these SIPs, and I basically funded the whole Delhi leg of my wedding with that. So practical advice like that I want to give. Be healthy, read, and I feel like women apologize a lot. Even I have this problem. I'm so sorry. May I say something? I'm sorry if you feel bad. Actually, I'm sorry, I just want to, I'm so sorry. And I just feel like we shouldn't be apologetic, to take space. We are the reason the world exists. And we have to appreciate that, and we have to not be ashamed or scared to ask for what we want. Like, I don't know if I'll get it or not, but if I go on an outdoors skit for a film, I may not ask for a hairdresser, but I may ask him, please take care of my nanny, can you provide me with a nanny? Because, so I'm saying we shouldn't be afraid. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, लोग ना बोल देंगे. But that's about it. Shouldn't be apologetic and shouldn't be afraid to ask for what we want. Because if we don't ask, we'll never get it. So yeah, that's it.
Very practical and useful, right? I mean, it's not only theory, we can actually put that into practice. So, thank you so much for being here today. It is our pleasure to have you. Could we have Richa's word, please?
Yes, it's already here with us. Can we have a huge round of applause for our ladies and gentlemen?